Hi, this is Toby from The Edit. Thank you so much for tuning in to this very special episode 300 of the Filmmakers podcast. We've had so many amazing guests, and I just wanted to let you know that Charles and I thought of bringing some bits and pieces of our guests back into this episode as little snippets, so do watch out for them and you might discover some brilliant guests you haven't listened to yet. We start off with actor Stephen Fry from episode 277. Enjoy!
Actors, of course, live rawer lives emotionally than others, in as much as they're often asked to play roles that might well be picking at their own scabs, as it were. And sometimes you can't but believe that the particular skill or gift that makes someone a fine film actor in all ranges is almost a dangerous gift. So often they have to go to places and inspect parts of their personality. I mean, there are people who, they've got a scene where they have to weep so uncontrollably. It's very important to remember that, the intensity of the workspace that is the film unit is something that needs to be considered.
And welcome
to episode
300.
300.
Cue the Spartans.
This is a podcast where we talk
Filmmaking.
film to studio films and
Everything in
between. That's it. Yes.
how to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to
royally
F it up.
fuck it up.
in a very humble opinion.
Humble.
Oh my God.
When did Giles stop being humble, by the way? I think it was episode 150.
Episode 2 or something.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is our 300th episode. Wow, 300 episodes. And what a lineup we have for you normally. We have amazing guests. Well, this week we have...
Normally. Hang on.
Not today.
There's no guests. Nobody came.
We mixed it up just to surprise you. We have on, right? You're going to love this. Well, I don't know if you will, actually. We have our hosts for you. Our fantastic hosts have joined us for this 300th episode. I'll introduce them for you, shall I? Should we go? Shall I do that? Yeah.
That's not rhetorical.
Yeah. So, we have Dom Lemoir, producer and director. He made 3 feature films before he was 30, including Winter Ridge, which had its own UK theatrical release. And since he's produced 3 feature films, including I Love My Mum, Soundtrack to 16, and When the Screaming Starts, which has just been released. Dom Lemoir, everyone! Also, we've got Tobias Wies. He's a director and screenwriter who made the award-winning. It wasn't award-winning. He made the short film In the Dark.
Theoretically award-winning.
Potentially
award-winning. Potentially award-winning, yeah.
Yes, and he's the editor and producer of the Filmmakers podcast, Tobias Wies.
Yay!
Also, we have on Tori Butler-Hart. She was Nee Hart in the past. She's an actress, producer, and writer, having made the feature films Missing the Teens, Two Down the Aisle, and the fantastic Infinitum Subject Unknown, starring Ian McKellen and Tori herself, directed by Matthew Butler-Hart, along with Matthew Butler-Hart, have literally written the book on filmmaking, full to the brim with fizz, ginger, and fierce determination. It is, of course, Tori Butler-Hart. Also joining us is Phil Hawkins, who's a writer, producer and director of The Butterfly Tattoo, Being Sold, which was the feature film he shot in 2 days. The Last Showing, starring Emily Barrington, For Warriors, and his brilliant fan film, Star Wars Origins, which has just gone over 2 million views on YouTube.
Oh my God.
It's It's been critically acclaimed as an epic masterpiece, everyone. And his latest feature film is the Universal and Sky movies, A Prancer Tale, which is in post now, and I imagine it's coming out at Christmas. It's Phil Hawkins, everyone!
Thank you.
Also joining us, anything to add? Take off?
No, it's great.
Great.
Is it coming out at Christmas?
I mean, take it all off.
Any awards you
Any
did win?
awards? Any awards?
Loads of
Toby's got
them.
some.
Yeah, awards that don't matter. It comes out this Christmas.
It does.
It'll be cool.
Yes.
So exciting.
Is that an exclusive?
Yeah, let's say that. It probably is, actually. I mean, I just presume everyone thinks it's going to come out at Christmas.
Well-
but yes, it is coming out this Christmas.
Well, it'll either be this Christmas or next. It's
Early
going to be
December.
a Christmas.
Breaking
It's
news.
coming out early
Christmas.
December. Yes.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Early December, coming out. Going to be great.
Amazing.
Hey.
Hey, also joining us is Christian James, the director of many TV adverts, but also the award-winning short films which Toby didn't get for Goblin and Night Feed. Plus, he's the director of the feature films Freak Out, Stalled and Fanged Up. Christian James, everybody!
Amazing. That was a I actually got
There's a whoop, whoop, whoop. I went low register.
Was it from Tobias? Blues following me everywhere. I just can't shake them.
Doesn't like award winners. There's no need for that. How dare you. And also joining us is Matthew Butler Hart. Nee Butler. He's a writer and director, and he used to be an actor back in his days, but now he's a feature film director, and he has made the fantastic feature films Missing the Teens, Two Down the Aisle, and Infinitum Subject Unknown, all of them with his wonderful partner Tori, but that one starred Ian McKellen as well as Tori. It is Matthew Butler Hart.
Someone snuck into the studio. I don't like it.
And finally, it is myself, Giles Alderson. The Dare is coming out.
Everybody drank.
Yes, I've been lucky enough to
Charles'
direct
favourite bit of the
big
podcast.
This is the bit everyone skips through. Yeah, Giles is talking about stuff. But just throwing them in because The Stranger in Our Beds out now, as is Wolves of War, which I directed. But the big news we've got is 3-Day Millionaire is going to be released in cinemas on November the 25th. Super exciting. I'm Giles Alderson, everybody.
Yay!
So Stranger in Our Beds is up against Prancer, yeah? So it's like a
It'll be 3-Day Millionaire.
3-Day Millionaire.
Probably a different audience.
Sorry, so many films. But yeah, so you guys are going at it. You're being like,
Yeah, we're going at it.
We're going every night.
I feel like I'm the alternative content, or maybe Giles is the alternative content. I don't know. Studio versus indie. Who will win?
Studio versus indie.
Reindeer versus man.
Listen,
North versus Vermont.
Yes. Deer versus Grimsby.
Yeah.
No one holds Grimsby, dear.
That was dumb.
Disclaimer: I haven't been to Grimsby. I haven't been there.
Just to steal Dom's pun.
Yeah.
The question is, which film was dearer to make?
I'm going to go with Phil.
I can't say.
Surely you need to have to say because your films haven't come out. So yeah.
I only did it for the pun, not for the question.
I feel like A, it's winter. B, there's probably going to be a lot of CGI. C, Phil does like his sort of very expensive camera style.
Technicrane probably in
What are you
stuff.
saying?
Of course.
I'm saying Phil's very high maintenance commercially, I would say.
I've been very lucky enough to see 3-Day Millionaire, and I think it's great. So I don't know. It looks expensive. I don't know how much it costs.
Yeah, I've
but
been very lucky to see Prancer Tale as well, and I think it is a fabulous film.
Oh,
And I'm sure
thank
on
you.
screen they look just as good as each other.
Also, nice big shout out to our hosts who could not be with us today. The always fantastic Ian Sharp, Robbie McCain, Dan Richardson, and Andrew Roger and Lucinda Rhodes-Takra. The last two are both on set right now and really tried to get here, but they could not. I imagine they will be joining us for another host special, should we do another one very soon. Right, thank you guys for joining us. This is really cool. It's our 300th episode. Can you believe it? Wow, 300 episodes. Before we get to what we feel about that, because no one else gives a fuck, but it's interesting for us to chat that through, is we've got some amazing guests coming up for you. We're starting 301 and onwards with a huge bang. We have some amazing guests, so we'll sort of shout some of those out now so you know what's coming up. We have Sally El Hosseini, she's the director of My Brother the Devil, which was one of my inspirations when I started directing, and she's about to release The Swimmers, which Dom saw recently and is going to be incredible. We've also got Stephen Moyer, who's the director of A Bit of Light, but you might know him as the actor from True Blood. He was also in Confession, which Lucinda directed and Andrew Rogers shot. And then, Dom, who else do we have?
We have Christy Wilson-Cairns and Tobias Lindholm from The Good Nurse, which is pretty exciting.
Very.
That's probably, we got Neve Argar, Emma Donoghue, and Sebastian Lelio, actress, writer, and director of The Wonder.
Yep. And then we've got Jennifer Lawrence's latest film, The Causeway. We've got the directors of that film. And we've got a 3-day Millionaire special. Drink, everyone. Because the movie is, if I haven't already said, is coming out the 25th of November in cinemas. If you like me in any way, you hate me, go to the cinema and support indie film. And support any of our guests' films. This is what we do this for. That's the only reason we do this, to let you know about our films.
Why not?
It is not.
The royal we there.
Yeah, the royal we.
The thing too that I think is important to remember, anyone coming up and feeling like whatever, like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. This is the other thing that I picked up in my first career in sound, is like nobody knows. The thing that separates you and being like puts you in the big chair is like the problems are coming. Like it's just how you deal with them and just surviving. The thing that I learned, if someone's like, hey, where's blah, 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 and you know, like, oh my God, I've made a horrible fucking mistake. Like, this is really, really bad. If you just go, oh yeah, just give me 5 minutes. I'll get that. Like, just make it fucking so nonchalant and you walk out the room and then you have an anxiety attack in the privacy of your own room. It's fine. Like, just fucking fake it till you make it. Ask questions. Don't pretend like you know everything, and just recognize that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. It's just like being an adult. Like we grow up, we're like, oh, our parents had no fucking idea. Not really. Same thing, but filmmaking, you know?
This was writer-director Lauren Hathaway from episode 260.
So what have we learned in 300 eps? Is there anything that springs to mind for our listeners that we've learned over 300 episodes? Anyone want to lead us off? Matthew.
So, go on. Go on, that's me. Yeah, well, go on, me.
Self-motivation.
Come on, mate, I can do this.
Come on,
Go on, Matthew, you can do it. Not recording this, no? Okay. No, it was something that Stephen
Phil's
Fry...
already gone.
I know
You've lost
Phil's has actually left. Okay, fine. No, it's something that Stephen Fry said. He was just saying that... we can make, and I love pretty looking films and everything, but we can make things as pretty and amazing as we like, amazing landscapes and things. But like the dynamic tension of a scene, in his words, it's at the end of the day, it's in the actor's eyes. Like we do all this lovely stuff, but it's just between the two actors, it's their faces and it's in their eyes. So like that's a really nice thing for me to like remind myself when I'm making things as well. That's the thing.
That's the magic.
That's the magic.
It was lovely when he said that. It was such a beautiful episode, that one, the Stephen Fry episode. If you've not listened, honestly, it's well worth your time. CJ, anything?
I've just learned that in the last 10 seconds, that why am I bothering with wide shots and dolly? I should just do this.
Yeah,
I have,
do that.
Thanks, Stephen Fry. No,
yeah.
what I
you don't want to watch a Prancer Tale then.
I was hoping for a little shortcut there, Matthew, that I could just,
No. I know, and I love my epic stuff, and I love that episode recently with Joanna Coelho.
Joanna Coelho, yeah, this DOP.
And like talking about all the cameras and lenses and grain and filters. Like, oh, that's lovely, and I love all that stuff. But at the end of the day, just for a reminder for me that it's about the eyes.
It is. It's true.
Yeah. Like the end of isn't it? What's the Planet of the Apes movie where they didn't have the footage? They just cut to close-ups of eyes because they had one of the apes giving a rousing speech at the end. I think it was like Beneath the Planet of the Apes. They recut the ending and just said, just cut to his eyes. So they just zoomed into the 35mm, and the big ending is just this.
Wow.
Because they didn't have the footage?
They didn't shoot it, so they just changed the ending. Went, I'm not going to reshoot it. We'll just cut to the eyes. So
yeah.
But
I haven't, it's there you go. Top tip. What did I learn? I remember Michael Roll.
The Princess Switch director.
The Princess Switch director, that's correct. I think beforehand you probably sent me the link, and I hadn't seen any of the Princess Switch movies, I'm sorry to say. And I was a little bit cynical about it and was like, oh, do I, is this what I want to... But the guy, he was really fascinating. And to see like the amount of passion he brought to what could be like a sort of very pedestrian project. But yeah, just the sort of... I think through all the podcasts we've done, some of the more interesting ones for me have been where you chat to sort of like I hate the journey person, film directors. So you get to speak to people that have made a living doing it, and they, I think it's not. We sort of probably all grow up reading interviews with big directors, but then very quickly it might not always be that. It's not. That's a very small number of people, but there are millions making a brilliant career out of people like Michael Roll.
Yeah, I think that was a really good lesson, wasn't it? And just generating the fact that not everyone's Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? We all might want to be. But the fact is, there is so much work for us as filmmakers, and we can carve out a great career by being filmmakers. You don't necessarily have to be a name.
Yeah, he's still approaching it with like utter, respect and enthusiasm. And it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this is beneath me. He was very positive and excited and dynamic about it. So it sort of reminded me, because sometimes you get a job come in, you're like, but then I'm like, yeah, a bit of a mental slap. And I try to now apply that to everything I do. Not always successful, but I try.
Yeah, I like that. Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I think sort of overall it's been a really what have you learned from 300 episodes in terms of specifics? I think what's been nice is kind of how sort of humbling it's been to listen to different filmmakers at different experience levels kind of all share a lot of common ground, like it's kind of really interesting that we all go through the same struggles, we all kind of feel the same way, we sort of all feel like outsiders, which is hilarious because if we're all outsiders, where's the inside? BFI. And and we're all going through the same sort of challenges, and we're all aspiring to do things, and and sort of picking up from what CJ was saying, not everyone can be the Steven Spielberg or the Christopher Nolan and make that one movie that absolutely blows up. But think of how much stuff he's shooting. Think of how much stuff is on streaming platforms. They've all got directors. They've all got writers. They've all got producers. All that, So it's like it's a kind of awareness that there's a whole collective of people that are trying to do this. And as someone growing up into this that didn't have any contacts at industry and pre-podcast, pre-YouTube. Just to date myself, it's really nice to be able to sit and listen to that and go, I felt that, I felt that yesterday, So I feel like, there's kind of something kind of therapeutic. It's like there's like experience, but also there's like a bit of therapy, because the guests that, you/we in the 1.3% of podcasts I've been on, that everyone seems to come on with sort of genuine like honesty, and it's like you have more than your sort of 10-minute slot that you might get on like other. I think I'm just being an advert for a podcast, but it's like people want to get into conversation, like, and once you get past the surface, of like plug the film, when's it out, when's it on, then people really open up, and it's really interesting to hear that from all different levels of people. And so I think just as a general point, that's what I've kind of learnt or felt from listening to it, kind of overall, really.
Totally agree. I think it's so nice that we're in the same place as everyone else. No one's really any different. Someone might have a better luck, or their film did well, and all that kind of stuff, but so could ours next time. It's this whole, we're all in it together, and what I've really enjoyed is the fact that even though this business can be cold and horrible and in a way secretive, what I felt from this and having people on and having you guys be part of this with me is that we're not alone. And I think that is a really powerful place to be in this industry that is a lot on your own. Half the time you're writing on your own, you're directing on your own, you're trying to produce and raise money on your own. But to have an amazing group of people around you all the time to talk to and be honest about this industry has been incredible. And I've loved that. And that's always chatting to you guys about this. But the guests we've had on as well, to be honest and open, it has been really eye-opening. I've learned so much from talking to them. It's been incredible. Dom?
Well, Phil just kind of covered a lot of what
Of course. Sorry, Dom.
Of course thanks, Phil. No, but I'll go on to say, I think a lot of it's about putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. And
don't bring this up on the episode, Dom. This is where you're going.
what?
Me laying you down again. Nice segue, Dom. Thanks.
But it's not. I mean, again, you sort of look at appearances, and you can only look at people's careers based on what you see them doing. But a lot of creatives are introverted people, and it is often about finding those kind of challenges that are outside of what you're naturally wanting to do. And that's when you sort of find the magic, and that's when those projects that are really important get made. And I think that's kind of a struggle that even some of the biggest guests have gone through is their own. Am I good enough? Am I going to be able to do the next film? Et cetera, et cetera. And it's really easy to look at it like it's a sort of a perfect tapestry of a career, because it's just a series of steps, but the gaps between the steps we don't always see. And they've all made their films in a million different ways, and there is no one way to get something made. And I don't think there's a blanket, you can't do this, you can't do this genre, you can't do this kind of story. I think if your heart's in a project, then it'll get made eventually.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey.
I like that. You don't see the gaps between the steps.
No, I love that.
That should be on a
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Stick it on a T-shirt.
Merch, Giles.
10% off merch.
Offer code. Oh, thanks, Phil, for bringing that up. There is 10% off merch on the Filmmaker.
I'm just reading the script that you've written for all of the Giles.
I didn't know I was that good a writer. Toby?
I'm jumping on something that has been said before. For me, like coming from another country as well, that it doesn't really have that much of a film industry, you often feel on your own. And what I learned through the podcast, and also through generally living in London for a time and speaking to other filmmakers, is that sense of community, and that nobody actually needs to be alone. Everybody wants to collaborate. And bringing that spirit to Austria really helped me to get to know people here and also share this spirit. That sense of community is something that the podcast really shares with us, me, myself.
Oh, are you going to cry?
Well, I thought you were going to get emotional then. I was
getting deep with 300 episodes.
Let's push in for a close.
Just into the eyes.
That's beautiful. Tori?
Well, I mean, you've all beautifully covered most of, I think. No, I mean, I think what an incredible catalogue that you have created. Like 300 episodes. Sure. But, I mean, it's 300 episodes of just, and I think I challenge anyone to kind of listen to any one of those 300, just to kind of put your paw in and dip out at random, but you'll still learn something. I think in every single episode, obviously there is that through line of a sense of, realizing that, actually, I'm not alone in feeling that. And there will be certain things that you're familiar with, that you've experienced, that you have, had very similar sort of processes to a lot of people that you've interviewed. But I've never once listened to an episode and not learned something, or in interviewing anyone, not learned something. And that is just an absolute gift. It really is.
It's been a real joy. It's been a real fun thing to do. My missus has just turned up. Hello, Fee.
Hi.
Hi. And it's the first time you've ever been heard on the podcast.
I was going to say, she's like the silent observer.
Yeah. What did she learn from the podcast?
Yeah, what did you learn from 300 episodes of the Filmmakers podcast?
How amazing you are.
I say that again.
How amazing you are.
Oh, look
I
at
think how lazy you are.
So she does It's a voiceover artist.
I've just played it. I press a button.
She's not on screen for the record. This is a pre-recorded message.
The dare is coming out very soon. So look, thank you again all for joining us, and thank you for listening. Like I say, 300 episodes, isn't it? It's an incredible thing. We've done every Tuesday except one, because it was Christmas Day, and we didn't want to be that sad and ruin your Christmas Day, really. Ruin your vegan turkey.
But I was there ready with the microphone.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure Giles
what's happening?
I think it was ruined because there wasn't an episode, if I'm honest.
But we thought, because we're all busy at the moment, we're all in the middle of various projects and filming and projects coming out. We had some amazing guests, but actually I thought it'd be nicer for us to chat and go through this. So we thought we'd come up with some topics. We're going to have some listener questions at the end as well. We're going to see how many topics we can get through. If we don't get through all the topics that we want to do, we're going to do this again because it's so much fun just to get together and chat. But also I think you guys enjoy these ones when we all talk together and are very honest and open about our filmmaking as well.
A funny thing happened while we were making Cloudy. We were at Sony Animation and they had a movie come out that didn't perform how they wanted. So they spent $1 million getting NRG, a research company, to reverse engineer why animated movies succeed in the marketplace. And so the idea is like, let's just copy what they do, right? And we'll do that and we'll win. And the researchers said that the way to win is to be unique. It's the one factor that is common to all the winners, is that it has to be different. You can't be like the fourth Penguin movie. You have to like be something that nobody's seen before. And we've seen that over and over and over again. If you can deliver an experience that feels new to an audience, they go.
This was a little snippet from our episode 246 with producers, writers and directors Chris Miller and Phil Lord.
So anyone got a topic that they want to start with?
What an audience wants from an indie film. I mean, that's kind of a big question.
It's a good question, though, Matthew.
I think it's a very good question.
It's a very good question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of... It is almost too good. Maybe we should just all meditate on that for the next 10 minutes. I don't know, because I know I was looking at things, I've been trying to talk to people and things about it, and basically, because I'm actually teaching at the moment at a drama school, like filmmaking and screen acting and things. And what's kind of quite interesting is like talking to all these people. They're all in like 20, 21, and what's been really interesting is that they're all like they used to love Marvel, they used to love all the bigger sort of stuff, and they're all turning to like basically like, and they're all like, have you heard of Mubi? Like Mubi. MUBI?
Yeah.
MUBI, exactly.
Yeah,
thanks, Dom.
Of course.
And they're all like, so they're always like people in their 20s. They're all kind of after something different, like something alternative from the big budget stuff. They want something a little bit different, like more experimentation. I think like more challenge, more. Not saying that it's not fun and things, but just something a little bit. Like I was thinking about this. Sorry, Dom. I will stop talking in a minute.
No,
I was thinking, but maybe it's my imagination, maybe because I'm getting older, but like the blockbusters when we were growing up, I don't know, do they seem to have like a little bit more, I can't think of the right word, but like a little bit more intelligence? Well, yeah, exactly. All these words, exactly, all these things. And and like each to their own completely. If it makes you happy, then do it, as long as it's not murder and things. But like if you like those kind of films, awesome, great. But like it just seems to be lacking. I don't feel like I'm getting challenged like intellectually. Not that I need to be going, what's going on all the time at all. Jurassic Park, one of the greatest films ever made. But there's like an intelligence to it. Like the way it's made, it's kind of simple storytelling. It's just, I don't know.
Do you think because of that though, that the market is like oversaturated because we can go make films on our iPhones nowadays, because we can, back in Jurassic Park days, we couldn't do that. We couldn't just pick up a camera if we were our age now and go make a film. It's very difficult. Do you think there's too many films?
I think it's been moved into the streamers, like intelligent filmmaking. That gap has been moved out of Hollywood, and it's that kind of 5 to 20, 40 million pound films that used to be the kind of award season films. You still get them, but there's less on the lower end. And I think a lot of those interesting storylines have been moved into TV. And
very true.
Indie films are, that it's just a shrinking market, and it's really hard to make those kind of unique, interesting films where you have the creative freedom to do those things.
Yeah, and as you say, Dom, and not be then pushed into, great, love it. So can you pitch me the TV series? And I'm like, but I kind of just want to make the film, to be honest.
Let me make a movie. Yeah.
I think the idea serves beautifully, that hour and a half space, and that's kind of what I want to do. Why do I have to? Why am I pushed to think? Right, okay, I've got to think of this as like 10 hours, not an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Because it is difficult for us, because then we spend 6 months writing that or trying to get that together, and then they go, oh no, we don't want it anymore. And you're like, it's really hard for writers and creatives at the moment. But what is it, do you think, that we can, and our audience can take from this, is what do we think the audience are wanting at the moment? And do we jump on that? Is that something, like vampire films haven't been around for a while. Is that going to come back round? Should we be doing that? There's no wrestling films right now. Sports dramas. Is that the kind of thing we're going, there isn't any, should we do it? Do the audience want that? Or actually are we keeping with our trends? Or should we just keep making the films we want to make?
I mean, I'm strongly against the idea of making films for, okay, this is a gap in the market. I think films have to come from personal stories. They have to come from something that's authentic. They have to be real, and they have to be something that excites you as a filmmaker. And I think as soon as you start to make it sort of a head process and trying to make it for this person or that person, that's exactly when you have the kind of the flops in my mind, because they're just sort of manufactured by a think tank. I've never tried to make an indie film. I've never wanted to make an indie film. I've tried to make the films that inspired me growing up, the kind of Oscar contenders and then I think, how can I make this on an indie budget? And I think when people look at indie films, they think, well, what can we do, rather than what's the story I want to tell? And I think there's always a way to balance those two things.
But if we look at making money, right, because this is what this comes down to, right?
How dare you?
Sadly, for us to make another film.
Sorry, I just woke up. Sorry, what? Make money? I'm really kidding. Sorry, go ahead.
Who are the audiences who go to the cinema? As much as we go to the cinema, we don't go as much as we used to, our age. Let's say, we're late 20s, all of us. That bracket of like 16 to 24-year-olds go to the cinemas. They want to be entertained. They don't necessarily want these whimsical dramas or these, they don't. They want the Marvel movies, and that's why it's still working. But
I think it's changing. That's the thing. I honestly do think
has it
reached
changing. Saturation point?
Yeah,
I wonder. I just
that age group do seem to be like, is there anything else out there? I'm like, the 16-year-old of now is far more intelligent than I was when I was 16. And they are after. There's so much more, sort of wide,
worldly wise.
Yeah, exactly. And they're after more. They question things more, which I think is why
more political.
Yeah, and I think indie film, as you say, Dom, it doesn't mean it's like kind of it's £3.50 sort of thing. It's more like the indie sensibilities of the stories of like Stanley Kubrick in a way.
Yes.
I've gone off on one hand now, haven't I? Every single film was completely different. But like it was, he was every time he was exploring like a piece of himself or like the human experience of things, and it was so I think they're brilliant films, but like each one is an exploration of something he was interested in at that point,
which is exactly what Don was saying, when it's like, don't go for like, oh right, this is in trend at the moment. Because also, let's face it, that actually if you're like, okay, that's current right now, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write my script because that's current. We all know how long it takes to make a film.
The time it gets made, it's not.
By the time it's out, that bubble's gone.
Totally.
So
my parkour film is still in my drawers. It's still not. I'll come back around.
Yeah.
It always does though. Exactly.
Yeah, my COVID film. Right, must get that out now.
Perfect. They all work well, don't they?
Is part of the problem also that the sort of feedback loop is so instant now as well? So Matthew and Tori, to your point about the kids of today and what they're after. Because I think when you go, or you used to go to the cinema, you would go in, it's sometimes getting what you need, not what you want. So it's like where you sort of flick through the TV endlessly, not knowing what to watch. And cinema used to, like, I remember going to see Shawshank Redemption, not like I had nothing to do on a Friday night, so I'll go see this film, apparently it's all right, I don't know. And then I was blown away. I don't think you get that anymore. And also films now, because they feed off of the, if enough people go online and say we want the Fantastic Four, then Doctor Strange 2, spoiler, suddenly has, here you go, here's what you wanted, isn't it? So it's kind of like, yeah, I sort of did, but then I sort of didn't as well. So it's sort of, you want it and you've kind of asked for it, but it's also unsatisfying. And that's the problem with modern cinema.
Yeah, but Dom's right. Things have moved to streaming. There's no question about it. That platform, and for independent filmmakers, it's not a bad place to be. You get your film on Netflix, you get a Sky original. That's great. If they're going to fund your movie or TV series, but really we're talking movies really right now, that's a good thing. But cinema is still that goal, right? It's still the ultimate for us. It's still what we want. Because if you get a hit in the cinema, well, it does well. It's a huge difference. Whereas streaming, it comes and goes in a couple of weeks.
And it's the atmosphere as well. I mean, just going to see a really powerful film for the first time with a whole bunch of people and hearing the gasps and the excitement, like there's just, you can get close on a screen at home, but it's never quite the same.
Just to wrap it up,
Thanks for coming. I don't want to edit any more on this topic, all right?
It's a word from us monsters.
Moving on.
I don't have to edit so much. No, what I wanted to say is that as a filmmaker, you're part of the audience as well. So just do what you want to see. Because if you do want to see something, then probably other people will want to see it as well. So do trust your taste.
I love that. It's very what we're saying. The Christopher Nolan, even though he fits into both brackets, is an independent filmmaker. But he makes movies for the big screen. But he's not being told what to make. He's making things that he wants to make. That's a true independent filmmaker. But he's just got huge budgets behind him. You know, if any of us try to make Inception or Tenet, you know what I mean? Good luck. You know, we're not going to get the money. But he had the vision and the mindset.
Not with that attitude, Giles.
Don't worry, the dairy.
That's a you problem.
But I think isn't there like a playing devil's advocate or balancing out? Isn't there? And this is what we can do as indie filmmakers is to go like, we want to say this thing about something, but how do we wrap that in a package that you can sell?
Yes.
Because, the thing about making, a studio film or something is that you are either the gun for hire, you come and you shoot it and you hand it over and you're like, oh, great. Oh, what? The poster. Oh, there's a trailer. Oh, it's out. It's done. With indie filmmaking, you're like, okay, I've got to make the film. I've also got to sell the film. So it's like, okay. And horror is the most obvious example of that. Is like, okay, you can tell more allegorical tales. You can tell, a lot of metaphor. You can do really interesting things with horror to comment on society or whatever we want to do. More difficult in other genres, like a crime thriller set in London and strip clubs. Like it's kind of
that's Phil's next movie.
That's my next movie, really. But like so it's kind of like how do you try and have the best of both worlds, because it's still, you want to make an indie film, but you want people to see it. And for people to see it, you've got to sell it. And to sell it, you've got to kind of fit in a little box.
I'm just thinking about Phil's next movie still.
Can you imagine?
Phil's next movie.
Is this your Christmas film?
Is this Prancer? I had a totally different Prancer in mind.
Prancer and the Dancer.
That's the full
Oh, that's her name. Prancer. Okay. Now I get it.
Tori, it's a stripper name.
Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of snow, but
They're
it's
going
not
to
what we
find
were
me before it's even begun.
Different kind of snow. Got it.
Snow cane.
For the record, this isn't endorsed by Universal or Sky as a subject.
We are our own. I always try and remember. So Walt Disney, before as in the man before the corporation, he always said we don't make movies to make money. We make money to make movies. So it's the whole thing of like we have to make money. We've got to we're going to go chatting to people about our next films at the moment. Like going back to the same they're called investors, money people. They've got to make money in the first place to go back. We have to. We've got to try. So we've got to try and hide our own messages and wants in something which we can package and make money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can go, can we have some more, please? Now, it's just you have to. It's the most expensive art in the world.
It really is, and people take a risk on it. And here's where I think indie filmmakers do thrive here and can make a difference within this world, is because if you've got a fresh idea, if you've got something that, all right, it's been told in a certain way but has a fresh spin on it, or you think it's a fresh idea if nothing else, I tell you what, people do take that into consideration massively. People do really bite on that. If you say, I've got this idea, and they go, and normally when you pitch an idea, someone will go, oh, you mean like, oh, that's similar too. But if you go in there and you've actually got a fresh idea and they go, oh, hang on, that's interesting, you've now hooked your investors. So don't be afraid of doing something that is different as well, because your investors will go, ooh, I want to be part of that, or the studio, or producers, or your director, whoever you're trying to get on board. I love it when someone comes with a fresh idea I've not seen before or heard before, right? We all do.
Yeah.
And that's what all these students want. All these 20-year-olds, they're like, we want something different. We don't want. We've seen that now. We've seen that.
We want reindeers in lingerie.
Exactly. Pole dancing in Soho.
Sorry.
So I think, you can, whatever your film is and whatever you want to write or the story you want to tell is, do tell it. It doesn't matter what people say. Don't necessarily follow the trend unless you want to do that. That's up to you. But if you've got an interesting idea, then go for it. Don't be afraid or ashamed to push your story out there. And don't think anyone else will steal it either. That's something people often get afraid of, is pushing it out and someone's going to steal it. The effort of writing a script and take it is so hard. They're going to have to be ridiculously talented to take your idea and then run with it, then find money, then find cast, then actually get it made and get it sold. So sometimes we can be too scared.
I mean, even if they do, even if they literally took your pitch deck or your, treatment, and they wrote the same script as you wrote your own script, it's going to be a completely different film. It's going to have different casting. It's going to have different creative ideas. It's probably going to be wildly different unless it's like based on a novel or something. So,
yeah, or unless it's called The Prancer Tale, in which case there is many, many versions of this amazing film. We're going to do a podcast special on it, by the way, Phil.
I'd love to. That'd be great. I'd really like to kind of dive deep into it. That'd be great.
And actually put to bed all these rumours.
Yeah, tune in.
Yeah, by this point.
The thing is, no one tells you that it is really hard. It's obviously incredibly hard. But when you're young, you kind of think, I'll get into a festival and then something will happen. And that doesn't necessarily do that. But actually, even getting into a few festivals is a good thing. Because really what you're doing when you make a short is you're building a body of work that when you go to an interview for something, you can present and say, look, I made a drama, or look, I made a sci-fi. And that's how you should see it. Festivals are great and fun, but don't worry if you don't get into the big ones, because you're just building a body of work. And for me, that's the most important thing.
This was a snippet from episode 267 with director Jennifer Sheridan.
Tobias, you may have to mute some of my track when I'm muting here because my daughter is currently crying downstairs. And I think she's okay. It's just post-school.
I hope she's not watching the reindeer film.
Is there I think she's watching When the Screaming Starts.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I'm really want to see it.
There is a great cameo in it, if nothing else.
Have you got a cameo?
Objectively, apparently, I'm funny, but I'm just playing a sort of...
Objectively, I'm funny. Such a dumb thing to say.
It's a great film, and I'm gonna give a little shout out for Connor, because he came and helped me the other day when gave me a hand.
He did for this podcast. Yeah, he's now hosting. He came on recently with his When the Scream Starts, and then he hosted with Dom. It's pretty cool. Dom is also starring in the latest BBC ident as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. I've not seen this. What's that one?
There's a load of swimmers naked in Hampstead Heath or something.
Dom's in the background. Wild swimming.
Are you? Brilliant. Okay.
Tiny
with some binoculars.
It basically it's like inverse binoculars.
It's quite cold up there, isn't it?
Just to clarify, it's only my head in shot.
That's what Dom specialises in, is cold water diving, isn't it?
No. I got sent this advert.
Is this a long story?
It's a short one.
Phil has got a hard out of 5.
Anyway, very long story short, as I'm being pressured here by Giles.
That's it. That's the end of the story.
Got asked to do the cold water swimming thing as a background artist, and it was in the fucking freezing time of year, and they didn't really say who was in what lane or doing what or where the camera was, but there was a techno crane, and I was in the middle lane and I was looking at it and I was thinking that techno crane looks like it's kind of faced at me, but I'm not supposed to be the actor here. And they never sent me the ident, and then suddenly I looked at it, googled it the other day, like 6 months later, and I'm like I'm the tracking shot of the ident, just sort of obliviously swimming along in the middle lane. So there we go.
You need to call them up and get a bigger buyout, because if you've gone from background artist to featured to
I am thinking about that.
I think you need to.
Foreground artist.
Do it.
There we go.
Get on them.
So let's, I suppose, moving on from that, Dom's short tale.
You started it, Giles.
It was called Giles.
You brought it up.
From a prancer tale to a short tale.
Somebody once said that perseverance plus talent equals luck. And I think that's really true. I sort of doubted that when I was young. I thought I had a bit more of an edge to me, and I thought, it's like the Groucho Marx thing. I'd never want to be a member of being a part of a club that would have me as a member, But it was like a flip of that. For me, it was, I never want to be a part of that club because they don't want me as a member, or they want me in a specific way. And I'm not interested in being that way because of my size, you know, you're stereotyped quite often. And I just wasn't interested in doing that. So, but I would just tell myself to just persevere and stick with the tribe of fellow artists and writers and directors and actors that are supportive, and stick to it, because it'll take a while, but be patient, it'll work out.
This was a snippet from our episode 264 with actor-producer Peter Dinklage.
All right, I suppose moving into the sort of how do we choose our projects then? What inspires us? You know, what happens when you get the right or wrong people involved?
It's a good question, isn't it? I mean, because actually, what we've been talking about already, really, so much of it is to do with money, isn't it? That's what it boils down to. So quite often we get sent some brilliant scripts that I read and I go, oh my God, I'd love to make this, but it's going to cost, you know, upwards of, and actually right now for us, that's, you know, we're not the right people for it. We're just, you know, so I think, you know, sometimes it really doesn't boil down to kind of like, you know, what you like and what you don't like. It's actually just like, okay, am I the right person for this right now? Or is there a better fit?
How do you feel about that though, when you have to turn something down or something you really like that you want to do, and then you're going, oh, it's not for us right now? How does that feel? I mean, it's always difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of, there's a film that we were sent years ago that this guy wrote about Errol Flynn. And so it's a sort of true life, you know, his sort of story, which was, I mean, really fascinating. I had no idea, knew nothing about Errol Flynn. Read this screenplay and I was like, this is fantastic. But it was period. It was, you know, going through different ages. And I just thought, you know, this was back when I think just after we made...
Was it Two Down?
Two Down. So we hadn't even sort of made The Isle yet. And it was just like, you know, this is such a massive leap for us. So, I mean, you know, if the writer's out there and you still haven't made your Errol Flynn film, well, maybe. Because actually, one of the films that we're working on at the moment, The King of Soho, that came to us. So we were shown the script, read it, loved it. Quite a similar thing in that we were like, okay, wow, this spans from the 50s all the way through to the 90s. That is, you know, that's huge.
Yeah.
Also, the question was posed, you know, is it better suited as a TV series? And then there are also, you know, it's based on a true life story of Paul Raymond. And so, which they have already made a film sort of 10 years ago called The Look of Love with Steve Coogan. So, you know, there were lots of things that we were kind of like, do we want to do this? And also, as a woman, I think I was like, do I want to make a film about a bloke who basically sort of promoted strip bars and pornography? But, you know, as
with
you
reindeer.
Sort of with reindeers.
I was just waving. No, you can't cut that out. No, that's in there. Oh God!
No one else. Dom's not gonna.
But you know, like, but you sort of, you know, quite often there are so many reasons sort of not to do something. But then at the end of the day, it boils down to the script, and we loved the script, and actually we thought, okay, yes, it's you know, it's huge, it's a massive project, but if we're really clever with how we shoot this, if we think about this, so Paul Raymond was an entertainer, so let's go really indie on it. Let's, you know, we'll do sort of use different lenses for the different eras. We'll, you know, okay, yes, we don't have to set up Greek Street in the 60s. We can shoot this cleverly. We can sort of work around that kind of stuff and make it sort of much more of a sort of art piece and an entertaining piece of filmmaking, like the character himself. So, you know, it very much kind of, that's the sort of angle that we're going at it from. And also we met Howard, his son, who is, you know, really behind the film, and he's a nice bloke. We really like him, we really get on with him, and at the end of the day, you want to work with people who you like, who aren't dickheads. I mean, you know, and even if okay,
we have done that a bit, and
we have done that, and actually, you know, even if they're not your best mates, then like at the very, very least, you have to respect them.
Yes.
You have to respect the people that you work with.
And vice versa.
You might, exactly. And you might not love them. That's fine.
Are you talking about subjects unknown? Because this isn't therapy, guys.
Shake it. We've done that before, we see.
Phil's trying to get his own back.
Sorry, it's not working. It's fine. Moving on.
But it's true. You're so right. It's so important. You know, you're working with these people potentially for 5 years. You know, it can be longer. You always, I'm talking about the Dare constantly, and it's like how many years later? It's out, by the way. It is available. You'll be drunk by now, I imagine. But it's true. If I didn't work with people I liked on that project, it would have been so difficult. And you're right, Tori. It is important when choosing projects and when going into business with someone, and it is a business, we can't forget that. And you don't have to be best friends with them, but you have to respect them. That's an amazing bit of tip.
Bit of tip.
A little bit of tip there for you.
It was like Dom in the pool swimming.
It's a little bit of tip. It is cold though.
Tip of the iceberg.
Underneath that water is a huge chunk of ice.
By the way, at this point, if you're listening with small children, you may want to use discretion.
This is not a Prancer Tale special.
When I kind of choosing stuff, I mean, yes, there's the money perspective and like, career-wise, what film to do next and what you're going to spend all this time doing. But also just that feeling of excitement and passion, that you read something, you're like, oh my God. I'm always like, I want to see this movie, and you've come to me. Okay. And I have to have that buzz straight away, because that's the almost your first 2-3 reads of a script, that's your most honest appraisal of the project. After then it's all stripping it back and and logistics and thinking about everything else. I always try and write down after I first read a script just initial thoughts. If I get to the end, initial thoughts
if not,
of
you're not making it,
just what are the things that jump out that that I've not may have only remember, I've just got to have that buzz. I've just got to be excited. I've got to be able to go to wife and go, oh my God, I've just read this thing and this happened and blah, 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 because if you don't get that, I'm like, why am I going to spend all this time? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be us, the filmmaker, the directors, the producers, whatever, they're doing the deliverables list or watching it for the 50th time to check, the QC or whatever it is, all the really, really dry stuff. And you got to really love it, or you just got to run out of passion, for it, to tell it.
I think it's quite dangerous as well, to read something and not fully be immersed in it and think, if you're not excited at that stage, and you're just sort of making it because it's okay, then how are you going to have enthusiasm for the casting, for your HODs, sitting through the post? The enthusiasm is just going to get less and less. And it's a big undertaking. And also maybe there is someone that is enthusiastic about it that's better. And I think there's no sort of, shame in stepping away from something because it doesn't feel like you actually care about it, because you have to care about it.
That is why it's also very important to work with the right people, because you don't want to lose that passion for the project. And the wrong people can make your passion suffer, and that you want to step away from the project. And if you lose that passion, you lose the project in a way.
Yeah.
It's almost harder on the low budget stuff, because you've got to be passionate, or what's the point?
Exactly.
Absolutely, because you're not being paid for it. Yeah,
exactly. And I was listening to the Connor When the Screen Starts podcast, talking about those guys, and then my mouth dropped when it said all the actors invested in it and everyone else. I was like, oh my God, oh wow, okay, it's that film, and that was and you could genuinely tell that without everyone caring about this thing and wanting to make it just kind of wouldn't have happened, because it's very, very hard. So just to, say things that we always say, it's very, very hard, but you've got to care. You've got to be the driving force of that passion.
Yeah, but if you do get with the wrong people, and I've said this a few times on the pod, and I really mean it, because I didn't do this for a lot of my time when I was trying to make movies for 10 years and didn't make any, was I was with the wrong people. And if you with the wrong people, in your heart, And it's so difficult sometimes with your best mate or, you're working closely with them. But if it's not right, and the quicker you can jump, the honesty, just go, pretend that one's not happening for a while and go, okay, cool, let's talk when it does and get passionate about another one. And I also just never now have one project because it hurts too much when that falls down or you're waiting for someone else to give you an answer. These days, don't do it. You know what I mean? Have other projects, write other things, develop projects with other people, because that way you don't get hurt as much when stuff doesn't happen or go your way.
In an ideal world, you get the script, you're passionate, you've got everything, but the world doesn't always work that way. And what if you get, which I have had, a project which isn't right, but nothing else is coming in? There's some stuff that I've had projects where I've turned down, but then it's come back around, it's improved a few degrees, it's maybe better. And you're like, okay, there's something here. My fires haven't been lit, but certainly there's something about this. Maybe I can work on this. So I've done a few projects, commercial projects, where I've not been into it at all at the start, but I need to pay the bills. So, and there's no shame in that as well. I think it's a conversation you have to have. It's because passion is that's the goal, right? That's the thing. But you can't always, and you won't always get that. But it's okay to, I think, to find a project and then say, what within this can I do? And I've done a few of those.
And what can you learn? Like, I'm always like, what can I learn from this? How can I get better at doing this?
Yeah.
Like, so many gaps in my, my filmmaking abilities and knowledge. And like, okay,
100%.
what can I play with?
This might not be like the most fun and the most
it's
kind of excited I've ever been. Right, exactly. But I'm going to learn something by doing this.
I agree that the people have to, again, always, and that's definitely a consideration is, can I work with these people? And that's that is a deal breaker.
Because life is short.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't know that until you're halfway through.
Yeah, true.
And then you've got to, and then I think sort of as a producer, then you really have to kind of stick by your guns and have your own integrity to know when something is not working, when there's a rotten apple that needs to be removed, because actually it's affecting everyone else.
Have you had that as well? Have you had that sort of situation?
Yeah,
where
we've worked on other people's things, so we're not going to mention them.
Yeah,
sure.
And
but so it has. There's sort of it's sort of one of the reasons that I have no desire to be a line producer ever again. But it's very, very difficult. You had this situation where there were a team that came on to do a job, but within that team dynamic, there was racism, and even though within their team dynamic thought that was acceptable, taken onto our working environment and our project obviously was absolutely not acceptable.
No.
And so, and those kind of situations are just make such a toxicity within the project and within the working environment. And it's you damaging. Just have to, it's so damaging, and you have to nip it in the bud straight away and remove it, because it just, those kind of situations, it's just not acceptable in any working environment. But somehow I think sometimes on film sets, you can come across huge egos, and sometimes
quotes.
And sometimes it's warranted. Fine, but actually I think it boils down to that whole thing of respect, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've left projects because of bullying, because of people you just don't want to work with. And it's really important, for your career and your life. If you're not happy, move on. If you're not happy with where it's going, do something about it. Challenge the people around you. If you don't necessarily have to run away, but go, this isn't working. What can we do to make it work if you believe in that project? So much.
But Giles, you left because you were the bully. So you were told to leave. Get out.
This is my podcast, CJ.
He realized he was working on a short film.
I think it is. Your well-being is so incredibly important, and I personally would rather either not work with people I don't want to work with, and just not make a film, or again the same with something I'm not passionate about. I'd rather just weight. And I do often have this, I've spoken to Connor about this a few times, like the struggle if you're, a director and you're like, well, should I just take something because this project's taking a while to get made or that? And my way of dealing with that is to produce. Like I produce stuff whilst I'm, so then it's like I can still be involved in other stuff, but I don't have to do stuff that I'm not sure about or work with people I'm not sure about, which I think is, because at the end of the day, you've got to be happy whilst you're creating all these amazing stories as well.
You do.
The tip for producing is supporting and providing everything you can to the director, because ultimately, as a producer, you're bringing all the things that the director needs to do, right? Once you've picked a director, you've picked a story you're passionate about, and you've put all the pieces together, support the director. Don't get in their way until after the audience screening, right? And that's very challenging because as a producer, you also get passionate about the project and you also have a vision of the project. But then why did you bring the director on board? If you had that strong a vision, why didn't you direct? And I've seen it many times where a producer and a director just cannot get along. They have a different vision of the movie. The point where the movie's running from its day one, it's time to let go and just watch the process. And if you're involved, it should be subtle.
This was a snippet from our episode 291 with producer Jarif Lerner.
Let's talk about on-set demands for us. We've sort of touched on it there anyway as filmmakers and how we handle them when we're on set, because it's fine when we're off set and we're developing something and we're in the sort of storyboard mode or in the shot list mode. It's great. We're in our world and we're like, oh my God, I'm actually making this. And it's an incredible feeling when you're shit scared but also super excited at the same time. How do we deal with those issues on the set then? When we are up against it, our backs against the wall as producers, as the directors, as the line producers, as the production managers, whatever it is we're doing, first ADs on stuff. How do we deal with that? How do we handle that pressure?
Drugs.
Well, CJ and I were... Yes, that was it.
Next topic.
CJ and I had a chat earlier about this because we were like, look, we can talk about the kind of normal things which I think we've touched on this podcast. And if you're the hardcore listeners to listen to this for however long we've been talking to for already, they already know about the stuff about meeting your day or the time pressures or not having enough money or like how do you shoot something when their location falls out. Like, yeah, I mean, that's all solid stuff to know. But we were talking earlier about like what's the stuff that we don't necessarily hear people talk about in terms of demands on us as filmmakers on set, and we're sort of talking about our kind of demands on ourselves in a way as filmmakers. Like, there's kind of I sometimes find that there is that kind of little voice inside my head that and it can creep in when you're setting up a shot, you're shooting something, you're like, Phil, is this actually good enough? Like, can you actually do better than this? Or I think you can do better than this, and then it leaves me. It just goes and makes a coffee, and I'm like, okay, and it's and it's kind of when to listen to that voice and when not to listen to that voice. And again, it comes with experience and stuff, but it's also training yourself to listen to your instincts to make those decisions when you're hounded by hundreds of questions. And see, I don't know whether you want to jump in because you had some really interesting thoughts about this when we talked earlier.
This is an underlying point as to why the podcast is so good, because it's not, obviously Phil, we're all a big fan of your work, so it's nice to hear that you have that voice as well, because the voice, and I always assume, as you probably do as well, that no one else has that voice. It's just me. So it's great to hear that, everybody gets it. No matter how much they're smashing it, they're still getting that voice. But yeah, I was saying, we were chatting earlier, and I was saying, the one thing I think I was never prepared for, I may have touched on this in an early podcast, I can't remember, but the one thing I was never prepared for is the fallout from the demand on set. So obviously, you're on set, but you get really an inhuman amount of questions and requests and a need for your attention throughout the day. And when you go home at the end, and it's not so bad if you're on a commercial and it's a 1 or 2 day shoot, it's fine. But if it's a bigger project, if it's 3, 4, 5 days or a feature, it's really hard to week 2, halfway through week 2, your brain is wired in such a bizarre way. I don't know if you've all had it. I've had it in a different way to Phil, I think. But I have this thing at the end of the day where I'm done. I've got nothing left. I've given it everything. But my brain is still firing at this kind of rhythm and I can't turn it off. And I go home or back to my hotel and I'm in my hotel room and I'm like, it's just going absolutely crazy, but I need to sleep. And then when I do fall asleep, I just start thinking that in my pre-sleep, I'm back on set and I'm being asked the questions I've heard, like, oh no, I chose the wrong color thing, or that curtain was too long. Oh no, why did I put that, and but I'm not, I'm just nodding off and I'm like, oh no, I've already shot it. Phil, you have a different thing, don't you? Where you're the other way around.
I'm the night before. Yeah. So not every day, but like if I know there's something coming up that I've been worrying about, whether it's a logistical thing or whether, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to make the day tomorrow, or the actor was really not grumpy yesterday and now I've got to deal with that tomorrow, or, or from even reading that script the first time, like, wow, that's going to be a really difficult scene to shoot. I'll get there later and then it's tomorrow. I fall asleep and I'll dream I've shot that day either as a complete nightmare or it goes really well. But either way, I wake up and I'm relieved that like I've got time to start again, kind of Final Destination style, or where it went really well. I'm like, oh crap, it's never going to be as good as that in my dream. I've got to do that shoot day again. Again, it's that kind of your brain is processing so much information. And I think, I love that about the job. I love being hounded with questions actually and making these decisions. And I feel
it's
like
a rush, isn't it?
It is a rush,
Yeah.
And it's it's generally people wanting your opinion on something to kind of funnel this vision, and it's a lovely skill, but also you can be crippled by that if you don't make a decision, and listening to that voice that goes like red is you want the red one, or no, you don't need the Steadicam that day, or you don't need, and just do it and say it, because if you second guess yourself all the time, firstly you'll never make a decision and you'll just enter this kind of world of anxiety of like, I've not made any decisions and maybe I'm looking like I'm not making decisions. And sometimes it's okay to go, do you know what? I don't know, but I'll get back to you. And people listen to that and go, okay, cool. But you can't do that for everything. It's like, do you want this sweater or this sweater? I don't know. I need to come back to you.
But it's okay on that to change your mind. This is the other thing.
100%.
It's okay to go red and then on set.
And I just blame the other person. I'm like, excuse me, I said red. Did you record the information? You got it wrong.
And then fire them.
You're the bully.
One way that I've dealt with that anxiety is I started to do video diaries. So at night, after I'd shot my day, I talked through that day, the whole sort of, just put it out, just words. It doesn't mean anything. And then talk through my next day. And it was kind of like my own therapy in a way. I was talking to myself with that therapy of going through the day. And what it did is it helped me sleep. And it helped me wake up with a plan. And and actually, you've got some brilliant behind the scenes. You don't want to use all of it, promised you. There is some really good stuff of you actually talking through your scenes. And you can, obviously, if someone's got behind the snes, you can put those over the top of what your plan was and what your idea was. Honestly, it helped me no end. I was so glad I did that.
I'd wish I'd done that, because I sort of, again, because like your brain is like in sort of short-term store memory mode that I feel like it doesn't, nothing access your long-term memory. So you come out of a week going,
did we shoot that?
I mean, I don't quite know what happened, but we got it. You know?
No idea how we got through it.
And even now, leading up to like, interviews and things about Prance, I'm going to have to go back and look at the shooting schedule to remember what we did in the first week and what order it was and stuff, and remind myself what happened.
It makes you can make that interview, Phil.
Because you can't remember. There's so much going on in your head. It's kind of crazy, and you kind of play it day by day. You have to do it like that. If you think too far ahead, you get so bogged down in the pressure of, oh my God, we got that coming up. Oh my God, this is a crazy 3-day shoot. We've got the moment where we've got to shoot 17 pages. How are we going to... You can't do that. You've got to live by the moment, every little moment, and go, how can I maximize this? And hopefully you've got a great team around you. Firstly, to go, hey, you've got 10 minutes on this. So, or you'll lose that shot. Up to you. What do you want to do? Do you want the Steadicam later? Do you want the crane shot later? or do you want to spend more time on this? And that's your choice every day, and you have to live with that. That's what I always say. It's like you set the bar so high for how you're going to make the film or TV show. You set it up there and you go, I'm going to do this. And your everyday expectations and your level of it all just comes down and down and down until you accept the worst of what it could possibly be and end up just an over the shoulder. Cool, move on. We got the scene. You know what I mean? You've got to sometimes.
We discussed this earlier because that's another thing is obviously, so 2 weeks in, you're tired. And then maybe the next morning you wake up and you're told you can't have that bit of kit, or you can't, the thing you were really excited about when you were in prep, the thing, oh my God, I can't wait to do that. Tuesday morning you're told, yeah, that's not going to happen. You're like, oh, fuck. But then you've got to go to set, and because it's really important about tone. I think all of us here, we're all amiable people because we're doing this, obviously, and we like sharing information. So, but you want to go to set, and I like a really happy, plucky set. I just like to be around positive people, so you want that to be everywhere. But trying to go to set and then having had all those knocks and scrapes and those things that chip away at you, but you don't want to go to set and go, it's just getting chipped away at, and it's not what it could be. You've got to be, positive, and this is the best it can be. And I know we've all talked about this quite a lot before.
Yeah, but you're the leader. You're the leader on set.
So as Phil was saying,
no, carry on. Sorry, Dylan.
That's what people
This is the
forget.
point I was getting to.
Yeah,
stop, Giles. Stop.
Forget.
Stop.
No, your
stop.
point.
No, very quick. Like, finish off, but Phil was saying, which is the best point, I haven't heard it put this way, was you've almost got to learn to be an actor as a director. Or a producer, or that anyone apex on the crew, you've got to act. You've got to act the part. You've got to play a role, and that's learning that.
Yeah, you play. I mean, everyone has different sides of their personality, right? And I have director Phil, and when I'm on set, maybe it's because everyone's paid to laugh at my jokes, but I feel like I'm funnier on set.
I would do here. We're not.
We're all
being paid right now.
And laugh. You have to switch it on because it affects ultimately what you're trying to protect, which is the performance and everything and that whole thing. So you've got to be the one that drives this forward, or it can so easily just fall apart, and that day will live on forever in the rushes of the day that you were like, you couldn't be bothered, or you were too tired, or you were underprepared, or and we all have those days. It's not always perfect, but it's kind of it's and that's a massive demand to be able to I just can't deal with this today. I've got this stuff going on, this stuff and that's the thing. The cast and the crew do not need to know. And I even do it on commercials, like when the first AD, will come over to me and I'm thinking, she's like, oh, we're doing all right for time, we're doing all right, or we're actually, I'm like, don't say it out loud.
Don't say that.
Just don't say it out loud. Just either whisper in my ear is their issue, or I'm very aware of what time it is and stuff. It's like, because everyone then the panic starts to set in.
I learned the clock when I was 13. I'm very
13, Giles. Slow developer, but that's okay. That's okay as long as you get there.
Yeah.
But those tired days are the hardest ones.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones you really want to let stuff slide when it's like, oh, this is going to be really difficult to get this, and you're just like, oh, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. There's an easy way.
I have a question on that part. Do you guys, how much does exercise play a part in when you're on a shoot? Especially, on a long shoot. For me, it's absolutely imperative that I still manage to get my exercise in, be it, if I go for a run in the morning. And obviously, on sets, you are working crazy hours. You're getting up at 5 a.m. and God knows what time you're going to bed. But it's so vital for me, for my own mental health, and for clearing my mind of be it whether I'm acting and I have all of that nagging doubt of that we all have said that we experience of I'm not good enough, this is shit, but also to being a producer and having the to-do list is 50 items long, and you're like, oh my God, it's got to be done by tomorrow. Just taking 20 minutes out to go for a run, do some exercise, just to get those endorphins going. Because actually that also helps with the tiredness and the fatigue and everything else as well. It might feel like this is the last thing I want to do, but I don't know about you guys, whether you find that.
For me, it's always sleep. Like that's the main one, and I meet so many people.
It's a great exercise.
I run in my sleep.
At the end of the day, what you're saying is completely valid as a way to get those endorphins in. But so many people they sort of avoid the sleep, and then what happens is that they're literally a zombie on set. They can't make any decisions because they've spent all night trying to plan stuff that's kind of outside of their control. And then you've got someone useless, and it's like I'd rather be mentally prepared, but maybe not prepared, than to be a zombie who's thought about stuff to sort of infinitum. So
and the slippery slope is like, oh, just go to the bar. That's at the end of a hard day.
Yeah, I never do that.
And we've all done it, right? We've all done it, but like it, you kind of regret it. And I running is really my only exercise, and I try and be better at doing it. I definitely do it on my days off. Inverted commas, the scheduled days off, but during the shoot I'm so physically kind of exhausted because I never sit down, I just don't.
You fall asleep.
And I'm always moving. I'm always, again, I'm playing that role. I'm the excitable, passionate, film director.
Have you considered, Phil? Have you considered maybe doing weights?
Yeah, just join.
Like that's something you could do. Yeah. So as you're directing on set, you're doing weights at the same time.
Just bench press a runner.
Yeah, exactly. Just so you're exercising and directing.
Yeah, it's kind of
get the ones that like you can strap to yourself as well.
Oh,
so, like you can go
little ankle weights.
This shot's really difficult.
Do your aerobics or boxercise, keep fit class while you're just
keep going. But you have to be mentally, physically fit. You do. It's such a marathon on set. There's no question about it. It's one of the hardest things you can go through. It really, really is. In terms of our careers and what we're trying to do, not in terms of life. And you on set, you have to be physically ready for it. You have to be prepared, and I mean that in terms of not just your prep as a director / producer, getting sure everything's in a row, what you want to shoot, how you're going to work with the actors, but also your mental state as well, because it can be easy to slip down that. I've worked with directors, and you can see them just slip down that oh god path, and you've got to G them back up. You've got to help them, and if they're not prepared, or if they've gone for a drink the night before, I'm like, look, this is on you, mate. This is your fault. That's why you can't do it. You've really got to separate yourself. And I found that very difficult. Maybe, Matt, you were the same, moving from acting to directing. Because when we were acting, we just went, hey, I've done my acting for the day. Let's go have a drink with everyone. And hey, we can survive the next day. We're cool. Look at us. When you're a director, you cannot do that. You just cannot. You're the leader. The respect goes if you're sort of getting smashed in the bar. They go, well, hang on a minute. And you probably revealed too much in that bar chat anyway. And the next day, they're like, I ain't going to do what you say. Or the other crew, you've got to be really careful. It's a really hard balance because you suddenly go, oh, I really want to do that. I want to play. I want to have fun.
Yeah, I remember on the Isle, like, because we were on this Scottish island, like, and one of the things, we were paying people well, but we also had a lot of booze for everyone, and they were, obviously moderation stuff, but like I was like,
rum, obviously,
I'll maybe have, exactly, rum, But I was like, maybe I'll have one occasionally, but like everyone's like, no, come on, Matt, come on, have a drink, come into the big cozy room and have it. I was like, as you said, slippery slope.
Is it week 2 or something? And later, you've been into the
exactly. Oh yeah, there's no way. I wouldn't be able to function, at all. I just know myself. Yeah, and like you said, like it does start to after a while, like feel a bit lonely, especially if you have been an actor as well. Because the whole point is, I love the camaraderie of being on set.
Social butterflies.
Yeah, exactly. And to then step away and go, I've kind of got to go and do my own thing. Otherwise, tomorrow.
For tomorrow, sorry.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's our name on shit.
Exactly.
Us getting our films out there, and we're the ones promoting them, talking about them.
But also, I mean, that's my fun. Like, that's I'd rather do that.
That is social as well, and it is exhausting because you're not only having to deal with problems, but you are socializing with people for a very long day. So like for me, it's also that mental space of like taking a time out. Okay, I'm done with the day. I needed a bit of me time to chill out, go for a walk or whatever.
Exactly.
Tori, very quick to your point about exercise though, which is a really, really, it's one I'm quite passionate about. So when, probably the only time I'm not so exercisey, if that's a,
it's not.
That's not really a
exercisey. No, it's physical. It's like sexercisey. It's like Dom in a swimming pool.
But on
the power of the bike compels you.
when I'm working, when you're as our work can be quite insular sometimes, you don't see people. I think then it's so important to just get out on the bike, go for a run, do something to just shake yourself out of it, because it's almost, I think directing on set's quite a physical thing, and I end up sort of running around in front of the camera, waving smoke around and doing it. So in the end, you're quite physically exerted anyways. But every other time, I think exercise is so important to keep on top of it. So like prep and post, oh my God, just make sure you get a run at lunchtimes or before work or something.
Oh yeah, like during post, like always you go for the run in the morning and then you're in the edit suite. But I mean, routinely on set, my watch is going off saying you've reached your 400% goal. I'm like, oh my God, it's lunchtime. Could you just, because I'm moving all the time, you know?
Yeah.
People who make movies and the people who talk about making movies, and there are people who like that say they're a writer director not because they enjoy writing directing, they just want to be a writer director. And it's a very difficult thing where like that opportunity, that fear that you talk about, the fear of getting greenlit, where it's like you get greenlit and then you're like, oh shit, now I actually have to make the thing, is the thing that people are actually scared of. They don't want to make the movie they've been talking about for 10 years. They want somebody to come along and do all of the hard work of producing it and giving them the money and call them a genius. And it's like, that's never gonna happen. That is a daydream. And I remember I saw Krisha, this film by Trey Edward Schultz in 2015 in South by Southwest, and he made it with his family for $35,000 in his backyard, and it's a masterpiece. And I was like, this is the beginning of independent film for me.
This was a snippet from our episode 244 with director, writer and actor Jim Cummings.
Well, look, we could do this forever, and actually I've love doing these. And like I say, we had more topics, but what we're going to do, I think, is come back to them. I like doing this. It's fun. If you listeners like it too, let us know, because I think we should do more of these, not just guests, but us hosts chatting. So if you like them at FilmmakersPod, or email us, thefilmmakerspodcast@gmail.com, right? To us, let us know what you think, what you want more of as well. We'll happily do that. Which brings us on perfectly to listener questions. So we put a tweet out asking for questions. So this is the first time some of our guests have heard this, so I'm going to give you some of our hosts have heard this, so I'm going to give you a bit of time, I think, between each one, because it's really unfair. But we got a question here from the fantastic Rob Ailing, who asks, what is the one film you wish you'd made, either a favourite film or one that you'd make better? Anyone want to jump in with that first?
For me, Inception, probably something like that.
How would you make it better?
I wouldn't make it better. There's no way.
That was the question.
Okay.
Well, no, that was a second part optional of the question. So screw you guys.
Yeah.
So it would be something like that, where it's a deeply interesting psychological idea.
I'd love to have made
with
it.
a really original storyline and blow away kind of emotional impact. It would be those kind of films that would really like.
For me, it's A Prancer Tale. So,
how would you make it better, Giles?
Please don't tell me yet. I'm not over it. It's still raw. We'll do that on the podcast. If we go shot by shot and go, so really?
Yeah. What were you thinking?
Were you drunk?
Did you? Yeah, I was.
I would remake something like RoboCop 2, because I love RoboCop so much, and I hate RoboCop 2 so much, and I'm like, how could you fuck it up that much? So I think I would find who dropped the ball the most, and something like that. I think I've just
that's a good one. So for that reason, I'm going Terminator 2, because how could you drop the ball? So
Blasphemer.
Oh my god!
What?
No,
you actually had me for a minute there.
No, because I would love to have directed that and said, "Hey, I'm the director of that. You can live off the back of that." I'm sure the director who made that had some sort of career.
It's done nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Tori?
I would have absolutely loved to be in any Kubrick film. There's still time, right? Deep fake.
No, I know. That would have been amazing. Being directed by him would have been fascinating. The behind the scenes stuff you can see on YouTube now of him directing and doing stuff is like, wow, that's going to fuck you up a bit. So,
for a long time as well. You're going to be. That's a heavy slog.
Yeah, you're really asking for it. You want to be punished on set, right? Okay.
You could star in a biopic though. That's still possible.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Why don't you make the biopic and then star in it?
Yeah.
Who would you be?
Right.
You could
Stanley
play quite a
Kubrick.
few of those.
Play Kubrick.
Girls.
Transformative role.
Absolutely, Dom. No glass ceilings here, are there? Quite right.
Quite right.
There we go.
This is Kubrick.
This is Mr. Kubrick, starring Tori Butler Hart. Anyone else Toby?
I mean, the films I love, I don't like. I'm happy that I wasn't involved with because I was able to see it as an audience, enjoy it exactly as an audience member, right?
And not see the shit that happened actually on set.
Yeah, exactly. Films like The Great Gatsby by Baz Luhrmann or Hereditary by Ari Aster. So like I wouldn't even be able to make them better.
No, I agree with you. That's what I say. I'm trying to rack my brains. Like, obviously, I'd love to put my name on. Like, I wish I did ET, but then that's Spielberg's ET. There's no way Foster could do that. But like, it's all those films being like, how did they get the money for this? You know, and I wish I could think of a title now just to put my foot in it. But like, films that you go like, where did it kind of go wrong? And that's horrible to say because no one sets out to make a bad film. So there's all this stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
When they adapt like a really, really treasured book and then they just make it like really commercial, they lose everything about what it was. And I'm not going to say what it is, but there are quite a few kicking around.
Yeah. Strange and Not Bad.
Yeah. I'd remake The Dare because then I could talk about it. I could have a successful podcast and I could talk about it for 5 years.
Thank you, Phil. That's very kind of you to say. Let's move on to our second listener question.
Hang on, I'd also remake Living in Crime Alley. That's for Rob. No, I wouldn't.
Because that's Rob's. Yeah.
Little plug for Rob's film.
For Rob's amazing Batman fan film, by the way.
Oh, yes, of course, that's his Batman one.
Hi, Rob. Check out Phil's first, the Star Wars Origins, which is incredible.
I'd remake his film and make it Star Wars and put it in the desert. Oh, no, wait. No, check it out. It's great. No, it's really good.
Brilliant. This is a question from Taslima Kola. We've kind of answered this, but I wanted to shout you out. She said, what is your process to filming a project? Well, we've kind of touched on that in terms of what we do. But if anyone's got a one-line answer, what's our process? I mean, prep for me. I mean, that's my one. It's the process of, filmmaking. It's such a big question. I feel like we've answered that quite a bit. So unless someone's got anything want to jump in, but I wanted to shout you out because we have answered that within that.
What I also find always interesting is to pitch it to someone and pitch it to different people and hear and see their reactions to it and their unique perspectives on what you have been working on or what you're currently developing. It's very interesting and brings and broadens your horizon often.
Yeah, but then ignore them and do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is very, very true.
No, I'm joking.
That is very
I'm
true.
slightly joking.
Like you never, and it can be the most unlikely people that you pitch it to, as in like literally in conversation. Oh, what are you working on?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm working on this. Da, 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 da. Oh, right. Is there a love story in it? No, there isn't. Oh, that's a really good, oh shit, I hadn't even thought about that. You never know.
Yeah, you should always pitch your films. I think it's really important. People are scared of doing it, but I think it's like you're telling it down the pub for a pitch. Someone will tell you if it's shit straight away. So the more you can pitch it,
and it also helps you know the film because like the hardest thing to write about film is the synopsis. I hate writing synopsis. I avoid them like the plague, but actually because it really solidifies what the film is actually about for you. So like that's when
even worse the log line.
The log line, yeah. It's just like if you can write your own log line before you go in, then it really helps, I think.
It really helps.
Yeah.
So the more you can practice that by telling your mates, telling anyone in the pub, telling someone in the beautiful hotel that you're staying at in Spain right now, then you do that because actually, why not? You've got nothing to lose.
Room service. I've got a story for you.
Not you again. Go away, John.
It's about an hotelier who comes into the room and swims naked across the floor.
John, what was the question? Can you repeat the question? I might have a tip.
What was your process to filming a project by Taslima Kola?
I got this is relevant. I have a technique. So if I haven't written it, which is often again with like I had a commercial series recently, which was it was like basically 4 short films.
Yeah. And they were brilliant. I saw them. They were very, very
Thanks,
good.
buddy.
Gave
Thank
some
you.
feedback, didn't I?
You did actually.
Why is it staring dreamily?
Sorry, I missed it, Dom. What was that?
Tobias is staring dreamily when you mentioned short films.
Poked up. Should I say short films?
I'm glad you
leave Tobias alone.
Yeah, leave him alone.
Everyone.
We can't help it.
The bullies are back.
Fire us all.
Charles is back to his old tricks. No, it's very quickly. So my this is important. I'm trying to help our listener.
Finally.
We're trying to be funny here, Christian.
Sorry.
This is an entertainment podcast, for God's sake.
No need for this. This is not very good now, anyways. But anyway, no. So basically, 4 scripts, 5 minutes each. Got to learn it all quite quickly to jump into a meeting where, as you've been picked as the director, people will expect you to know these scripts very, 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 very quickly. But my technique for doing that, I don't know if it works for everybody, but I and obviously it's usually in a PDF or something, or in a Word doc or some such. So I'll just write it out and I'll put it up on screen and I'll just write it freehand. And the process of writing it out and maybe adding a few, a bit of flair, or maybe I'll add a shot or two as I go. But although it might take me about, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to do that, it solidifies it all in my brain. So when I go to those meetings, I instantly have recall on a script or 4 scripts I haven't written. But it's the quickest thing I found I can do to learn the scripts.
It's how I learn lines as well.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I write them out.
Yeah, I like learning it as well. Yeah, the more you can learn about, learn it almost as a script when you're pitching as well, and then free will with it. It's kind of interestingly how I started the podcast. I often would read like what I was trying to say or articulate, and after a while I was like, no, this ain't working. You've got to put it in your own voice. And it's exactly the same with, when you're pitching anything, it has to come from the heart. And you can always tell when someone's passionate about a project. You know what I mean? They say, pitch me 3, and you pitch them, they go, well, you want to do that one, don't you? And you can't help it. It comes out of you. So as long as it comes out of you, that's what investors, studios, producers look for, is that passion. It really is. It's the passion, because then they believe in that you're going to make a passionate film. You can't just say it. No one gives a shit. It's passion. I think it's huge.
I think one thing I really learned is just that I started a dialogue with all my actors really early. So I would talk to them a lot. And that was something that on shorts or, music videos, commercials, you don't really get to do, because, it's kind of like almost the first time, you meet them on a commercial. Anyway, like it's kind of like on the day you're shooting. So I think just getting to build that relationship. So I just call them to talk to them. Ask them about their life. They're like, what are they doing? Send them stuff to read or look at, or kind of just open a dialogue, so that then when we were on set, I feel like we, with all the actors, we had a lovely relationship where, they felt like they could be honest with me. So if they did feel like, I don't really feel like this is right, then we could talk about it in a way that nobody felt like they were kind of stepping on anyone's toes. And it was a really nice kind of open relationship where we could kind of just say oh yeah, no, I think this, or no, I see what you're doing here. Okay, that makes sense.
This was a snippet from episode 274 with writer-director Kate Dolan.
All right, another question. This is from Dave Jones. He asks, who inspires you in the industry or just in life? If none of you say me,
I knew. That's what I knew.
Rudolph.
Dave Jones / Giles Alderson.
How much do I inspire you?
Yes. On a scale of 10 to 10.
I think it's what I touched on earlier at the start of this, if you stop it edited out, is that I'm inspired by all you guys. Cue the I know. I genuinely mean that, because there's some filmmakers out there. You go and watch a film that are huge, and you watch the film, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna quit because I can never make that movie. Right. And then and then you watch your peers' films or people working on stuff, and you hear their stories, and you're like, that's inspiring, because it's kind of almost actionable, stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why I love being on the podcast and in our various WhatsApp groups and things when we're all sharing stuff.
What do you mean WhatsApp groups?
No, different one. No.
The one we talk about you in it.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a massive Danny Boyle fan, always have been. He's a huge inspiration for me in terms of what he's done. But the amount of amazing indie filmmakers that have come on this podcast, all of them, the fact that they've, made an indie film is hugely inspiring. It's so hard to do. So anyone who's done it, huge congrats. If you're about to do it, listen, fucking go for it, man. It's huge kudos to you. Dom, who inspires you?
For me, it's people that, obviously
people that swim naked in Hampstead Heath.
Obviously, there's a hell of a lot of filmmakers that have come over amazing challenges, but I kind of always look up to the people that have got to the very top of the industry and they've remained humble and they're there to help other people come up, because I think you have to be that person as well for people that are starting out, making their first shorts, making their first feature. It's a sort of an attitude that needs to filter down, and I really respect when people have had extreme success and they don't sort of shut the door. And I think that's the kind of thing that helps people progress through the industry, and I think it's vital for us indie filmmakers to move to where we want to go, and for people starting out as well.
Beautiful Tori.
My husband, Matthew.
That was very
I'm paying the gas bill at the moment.
You see, that didn't even need a cue for an R.
No, it just naturally came. Matthew, who did you choose?
Well, I was about Tory. Originally I was going to do a much less eloquent version of what Dom said, but I'm now going to choose Tory instead.
Yeah, whatever.
It has to.
No, but yeah, it's anyone doing this, to be honest, isn't it? And not being a wanker. It's literally that simple.
Nice people.
Have a go and be nice about
nice
it.
people.
Yeah, nice people. Yeah.
It's going to be a bit cheese, but it's true. But it is probably having my family, so my immediate family, wife and kid. They have names, but for this purpose, we'll call them wife and kid.
Yeah.
Just like he does at home.
Human one and human two, I call them.
Yeah, keep the distance. Keep the mystery.
Keep it professional.
Absolutely. We have meetings and no, but I think having like that little my bubble, and it encourages me to go out in the world and make stuff happen. And through knowing I have bills to pay, which I know it's a really stupid thing to say, but sometimes I'm like having that a thing to support forces me to sit at my desk and make shit happen. And the shit I make happen, I love. When I'm out there doing it, I love it so much. So one thing feeds the other. So probably, I think coming home from a really good down set and then seeing those guys, it's all a big self-fulfilling bubble of but I think those guys are the thing that pushes me out there to make stuff, to keep building whatever it is I'm building.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So Mark Pikes asks, if you weren't in the film and TV industry, what would you be doing instead? Quickly round the group, let's just do that one. I'd be a footballer. I'd be playing for Liverpool right now.
Liverpool?
Really? Yeah. Well, they could do with some help at the moment.
They can afford
a Liverpool fan.
They can afford me, right? Yeah. No, I don't know. It's really hard. Baker? You'd be a baker. Can you bake?
Yes, my lockdown skills. The cliche. I learned how to bake, and now I'm a little bit obsessed with it.
You could be a cliche then as well.
Yeah, you could be a cliche maker.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a cooper. The people who make barrels for whiskey. I don't know why, but ever since I was about 10,
it's very specific.
It's very specific. No. My mum used to take us to all the whiskey distilleries in Scotland. That was our holiday, and I got a bit obsessed. I guess it's working with wood and stuff. I don't know. And they're all smashed
because of the whiskey
as well.
That's it. Yeah. Toby? Oh, you'd be a short film. All right, okay.
I'd be a filmmaker.
It'd be a feature film.
It'd be a grown-up filmmaker. Hey, no. I have so much respect for short films and short filmmakers.
And also,
I'm usually defending Toby. Oh no.
because Tobias originally turned down the stranger in their bed as well, and then you get to you. So.
True.
I'd go to politics.
Would you?
Oh, right. Yeah. Or be an activist. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
I believe that. I buy that.
Yeah. Oh, especially with that look as well.
That look was very serious.
I know. I was like, okay, I believe you.
Politician. Oh, if we're doing made up jobs, then I'll be a Jedi.
Like filmmaker.
I'd be a spaceship pilot.
I'd be a beetroot grower. Yes, exactly. I like it. Dom? You'd be a swimmer.
Yes. Yeah. No. My wanker's answer would be that if there's an alternative.
That's what I went with.
A professional one.
Yeah. Wow. There we go. All right. Can I speak?
Don't cut this out, Toby.
If there's any alternative to filmmaking, then you shouldn't be a filmmaker. That's the main.
Nice.
There we go. There it is.
Bit of
It's true though.
If not, I would be a cook or debate, something like that, probably.
Yeah, you'd make a good debater, a master debater.
Very good. Giles, still on the wanking jokes?
Outpunned.
Age, whatever. A number.
CJ, you'd be a surfer?
I was going to say
Do you know what? I was going through everybody else, and I was still racking my brains for what I would answer. But yeah, do you know what? Thanks, Giles. Yeah, maybe I'll just surf. I'll be like a free surfer. One that you just get paid to go in the world, and I'd be like a Lana Blanchard though. I'd wear like bikinis and show off a bit of butt cheek or something, and hold a surfboard on a. Yeah.
I feel like you've already done that by the way that you did it so accurately.
I think you have. Final question is from Callie. She asks, if we could change one thing about the industry, what would it be? Matthew.
Oh, Jesus. A proper structure for funding. Very simple. Actually, as in like, okay, that's it.
It might be happening.
If you could change. Yes, I was just.
Yes. So there is some news coming up soon, and we'd love to share it. But we've got, there's some news with the whole. Things might be changing in the UK film industry coming up, which really might help indie filmmakers, well, filmmakers in general. It's not my news to share, but from the inside track, someone who is massively involved with it at the moment.
And there's a big shake-up, isn't there?
Big shake-up happening, and it's literally...
Why am I genuinely excited right now?
Phil, but please
don't take my soapbox away from me. We've got nothing else to rant about.
Down with the BFI.
Down with the BFI.
Yeah. So yes, that could be interesting. So that Christian, for you, what do you want to change about the industry?
Yeah, like it would just be. I wish I had more time. It's development. I just think that development process, that whole chicken and eggness of, and we've all have talked about this on the podcast much. But yeah, it's just that weird kind of like, you've got Danny Dyer, great, you've got a movie, but like, it's almost like the idea and the script comes second, No, not now. I'm going back to when it was apex of, it was almost like if you had, there was that time, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. 10, 12 years ago. If you had Danny Dyer, you got $1 million. You could make your film, sell it on DVD, and it made $2 million. It was happening. It was a real
when Revolver,
business.
Those guys were all around. It was just like, if you got this, you got that, you had a film. It's like, really?
Yeah.
And it's like, so. I mean, I know that's not a thing anymore, but I think that's gone away, but nothing's replaced it. I think there's no mechanism.
I think there's not enough support for filmmakers coming through. The BFI do this kind of second like support type thing, but someone can win, Rain Dancer can win Biffa, but there's then. So what with their first film? There's this gap. There's this kind of like, well, you've already won, and they kind of see it as the industry kind of sees it. Well, you've already succeeded. You've already made your first. Good luck with your next one. But actually, a lot of those people didn't raise the money necessarily. They might not have written the script, and it's really, really hard to then go, oh my God, how do I? So what? My first film was reasonably successful. How do I get the next one?
Yeah, I think it's something crazy. Like 5% of British filmmakers ever make 3 films in their life, and that has got to change.
Yeah.
Correct. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some other better way of structuring this.
But if it changes, it takes it away from my achievements. So that's the problem.
All of our achievements.
Yeah, excellent.
They're mine team, Christian.
Yes. Exactly. So I don't. Anyone else got any thoughts on that?
I mean, just more universal funding opportunities for filmmakers. I mean, bring back SCIS to be more of a useful thing.
Yes.
I mean, that helps
Definitely.
massively.
Yeah. More tax incentives. Yeah.
Well, it was because of filmmakers ruining it for other people, actually, and manipulating that system of SEIS and EIS, and then just redoing a new company, pretending it had gone bankrupt, and it had gone bankrupt in their eyes and not paying, and that ruined it because the government went, well, we're not doing this anymore. Hence why you've got to do 3 films and you've got to set up your whole structure and your company, which is a good thing. It helps filmmakers, but a lot of filmmakers are not business minded. So, but we have to be, we've learned over our time, the last 15, 20 years of filmmakers, how to do that. And it's really hard.
I don't know, I feel like it's gaslighting, letting us take the hit for the government removing funding for
exactly.
us. You corporate wheel, Giles.
There are other ways to structure it where, you can prove that, yes, you are legit and you are making the film throughout the process. Anyone that's actually doing it can do that. So I think it was sort of, I don't know. I think there's definitely a conversation there that needs to be had because, let's face it, there are a lot of people that are high earners and that, aren't paying taxes that actually
let them not pay taxes
could
but help
be paid
elsewhere.
elsewhere.
Put it into the right places. That's what we want. Let's do that now. Anyone listening, put your money into the right place and help indie filmmakers and help filmmakers get the next films made.
Someone starting out, an actor starting out, can practice and rehearse and discover how to act for the camera by simply putting up their iPhone and acting to it.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Anyone can make a film.
Yes.
We used to say, it's so much easier putting on a play than making a movie because you've got to find where you're going to do it and so on. But no, actually, it's the opposite. You can make a film for nothing. Yeah. It will cost you nothing. And if you want to become better at acting for the camera, set up the camera and act and have a look at it. Get somebody else to look at it. Now, how that transfers it into a paying job is another matter. But I don't think we can, as artists, sit around waiting for the offers. Mm-hmm. You've got to get ready.
This last snippet was from our episode 262 with actor Sir Ian McKellen.
Thank you. This has been absolutely brilliant. I've really loved this. We've recorded for 2 hours. I imagine the episode might not be. Toby might put it out. It's up to him now. Just put in his words. Everyone else is cut out.
Toby already looks bored, so I think it's not going to be this long.
That could be 8 shorts.
I'm trying not to laugh now because
punishing you with silence.
Leave the gap in. Listen, thank you so much, you guys, for joining. Thank you so much for listening to over 300 episodes. I know some of you, I asked the other day who'd listened to many. I think Chloe said she listened to 70%. I think there's others who've listened to that many. It's a huge amount.
Is there a prize if you've listened to all of them?
Yes, but we can't prove it, can we?
Yeah, we could do a really extensive quiz.
Just wait for Christmas. It's happening. There'll be an extensive quiz.
Well, if you won it, what
you get to be a host.
You get to be a host.
Wow.
And we could all give them a DVD of one of our films.
There we go. Hey. DVD? What is that?
They're still making money though, Giles. DVDs are still making money. Yeah.
Dom's disappeared on us. And on that note, thank you so much to our panel. Let's give it up. Calling them our panel. They're not. They're amazing hosts. They've given up their time for free, not just on this episode, but so many before that. Let's give it up for Primo host Dom Lemoir.
Punmeister.
Christian James.
Hey.
Hutchings.
It broke up, that's why.
I'm off. I'm gone.
I said Kins.
Tori Butler-Hart. Matthew Butler-Hart. And myself. The Dare is out now on all good. Listen, if you are going out there to make your film, make it happen. Believe in yourself. I hope you've learned something from this. And if you're lucky enough to rise up and do well, this is your duty to send the elevator
back down.
We'll see you next Tuesday, as always, where we have a very special guest for you. Look forward to that. Take care, everyone. Go make your films. Make it happen. We'll look forward to the next 300 episodes, maybe, if we get that far. Until then, bye-bye. Adios.
Bye. Bye.
We've all done that when I say this is welcome to the Filmmaker. This is a podcast we talk, we'll all go filmmaking. Or we could try and do it at the same time. Whatever you feel like doing for this intro bit, if you can remember shit and throw it in, it'd be fun. And then we'll just
I skipped that bit now though. That's the problem. I'm like, yeah, I've heard it. Skip it.
I never remember it.
I'm joking.
Giles always puts
Look
me
at
in the spot, so I'm like, I can never.
Giles' face is like.
It's true. 300 episodes. I know. Don't try not to fuck it up.
True.
I do remember spending about half an hour on the last one trying to all do a word or two for it. And it's a very long
We
process.
recorded one the other day with CJ and you totally forgot the whole thing. You're like, I said, I have no idea. No fucking idea.
Because, not in a bad way. It's just like, I've heard it so many times. I just kind of like, sort of, I'm just getting the vibe and then, I'm feeling it.
Don't
really,
expect, just the wellies are in, leave them there.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree. We all skip to the bit in the podcast where we start, where we come in.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
No, I don't listen to the interviews. I listen to the start to find out whether the dare's coming out or not, and then I stop listening. That's it.
Which films Giles promoting this week?
So is that? No, that's week.
No, he's not mentioned it. Oh, he has. Yeah, drink. It's brilliant. No, but fair play to you. Fair play.
We hope you liked today's episode. If you want to hear more, visit our Patreon for bonus clips and exclusive content.